All right. Hello and welcome, VRMA conference attendees. If you are going to be in New Orleans October 13th through 16th for the VRMA International Conference, you are in the right place. This is the VRMA Conference Attendee webinar. We're going to walk through all things conference, which even for veteran attendees, this year in particular includes quite a few new things that we thought would be of value to everyone. So initially designed for first-timers and new members, we're broadening the scope here. So you're in the right place. We're going to share a ton of information with you here today. And if you're a first-timer or a new member to VRMA, welcome. We are here to make this an outstanding experience for you when you're in New Orleans. We're going to set up some expectations today, let you know what's going to be coming and what's going to be happening for those few days in New Orleans, and you can hit the ground running when you get there. So the goals of today's webinar are exactly that. Discover what to expect at the VRMA International Conference, as well as identify ways to get the most out of your experience. So we've put a lot of thought and planning into this event over the course of the past year, and we're looking forward to unveiling a lot of our new activities and education and all kinds of stuff. So let's jump right in. My name is Mike Copps. I am the Executive Director of VRMA, based out of the Washington, D.C. offices. I am here with my colleague and friend, Erica Klein, the Director of Education for VRMA.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, Erica. Welcome back to the VRMA studios.
Yes, thank you.
For those of you who listen to the VRMA Arrival podcast, there's a deep dive into the conference. You've heard Erica and I talk at length about this particular event. If you haven't listened and you want to know even more about a lot of the education that's taking place, go check that out. It's available anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also on the webinar today was our friend Drew Brown, who's a member of the VRMA Board of Directors and is also the chair of the VRMA Membership Committee. Welcome, Drew.
Thank you so much, Mike. Really happy to be here.
Happy to have you. So that's it. We'll be guiding you through these slides here for the next half hour or so. So we're going to share as much information as we can today. It's not going to be 100% exhaustive of everything taking place, and I'm sure everyone will have their own unique questions and thoughts and ideas about the event. So please, anytime before or after, reach out to us at the contact info you see on the screen right now, vrma@vrma.org, or give us a call. And then during the conference, we're going to have a significant amount of individuals there from the VRMA team, from our DC offices as well as Chicago. Be wearing VRMA polos. We'll be at the VRMA membership desk and the registration desk. So anytime you have questions, track us down, as well as myself or any member of the board or committee members who will all be wearing badges to signify and identify themselves. So what is going to be happening for those days in New Orleans? So this is a real high-level overview of what's going to be taking place. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into a few of these items, but you'll see on Sunday, October 13th, the conference really kicks off with the welcome reception late in that afternoon. But immediately before that, for you first-timers and new members, we are having a reception that we're going to talk a little bit more about later in the webinar. And there is a Path to Leadership session immediately prior to that. So the goal of that is to really identify and educate about how to get involved in VRMA and how to become a Drew Brown, how to become a membership committee chair or any committee chair and a board member. We're always looking for new, great, passionate volunteers to help drive the association. So we hope people will come to that session. And then that evening, we have a speakers dinner that's exclusively for speakers by invitation only. But then the conference really kicks off on Monday, and I will let Erica give a high-level overview of those 2.5 days of education and networking.
Thanks, Mike. So as Mike mentioned, we put a lot of thought and effort into planning this conference and the educational content going into it. So we're really excited about everything that we have lined up from Monday the 14th to Wednesday, October 16th. The conference kicks off on Monday morning with an opening general session by Marriott. As many of you are aware, Marriott is getting into the short-term rental space. After the opening general session, we go into the exhibit hall and some of our sponsored education sessions, which we'll talk a little bit more about later on in the webinar. And then goes into our concurrent breakout sessions. We have over 70 sessions set up at the conference between our VRMA education and education with our sister organization, VRHP, for housekeeping professionals. And they are doing education, again, dedicated to housekeeping, maintenance, and laundry. So over the 2.5 day time period, you can see again, close to 70 sessions, 10 sessions going on at any given time. It's a lot of content happening at once. And then on Monday afternoon, we have a general session and awards reception, which we'll talk a little bit more about later on. And then Tuesday morning, we open up with VRMA Battleground, which is a general session we did last year at our event as well, backed by popular demand. It's a group of startups competing in the industry space and competing for the title of VRMA Innovator of the Year. So that'll be really exciting as well. And then closing out the day on Tuesday, we have our Advocacy Fund reception, which we'll talk a little bit more about later on as well as our evening event, VRMA Your Way, which is our fancy way of saying it's our conference party. So we have a lot of fun things associated with that. And so we're looking forward to hosting that as well. And then Wednesday, we'll close out with conference sessions and our closing general session before we send everybody on their way. So a lot happening over those 2.5 days there. And we'll get a little bit more into the content as we go throughout this webinar.
So that was a very high-level overview, and thank you for that, Erica. There is all the detail that you need about the event is available in the conference app that's currently available for download. Now, for those of you who have been in the past, we're actually using a new app provider this year. So it's a little different functionality. You need to download the kind of a different system because it's from a different company. And when you open this up, you're going to see that it's a lot more intuitive to navigate, similar in that you build your personal profile and you can send messages and have contacts and things of that nature. But we've made it a lot more user-friendly to be able to navigate the exhibit hall, for instance, so you can actually sort exhibitors by category. So if you're looking for property management software companies, you click on that. It shows you all the companies. You can click on the company to learn more about them, see where their booth is, look at the booth exhibit hall map and floor plan, and just go straight to that company. So you don't have to wander around asking where the property management software companies are. The app is going to help you navigate through that. It's also going to help you connect in that there's a new meeting functionality. So if there's another individual, and you can search for individuals in the app based on demographics and interests. So years in the industry, number of properties managed, what type of product they're interested in vetting and learning more about at the conference. You can search through these filters in the app, and we'll be sending a lot more information with some screenshots in advance of the conference as far as how to navigate this. But just know that you can search for attendees that way and set up meetings with them through the app. And you can pick the room and location for that. It's a very cool functionality. We're looking forward to everyone's feedback on that. And of course, you can build out your agenda, go through it, look at the agenda, click on the sessions you want to attend. It'll build your schedule for you and help you navigate through the event. You can access all the slides and handouts from our sessions, learn more about the speakers, and deeper dive into the actual topics they'll be discussing. And then a couple of the pieces that Erica was talking about, the VRMA Battleground, for instance, there's an audience vote. We'll be voting through the app. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the VRMA party that has some connection to the app as well. So there's a ton in here. We're going to be sharing more information about it, but just please go download it, familiarize yourself, and update your profile before you're on site so that you can use this to really get the most out of the event. So before I jump into the social media piece, I wanted to talk quickly about something else tied to getting the most out of the event. So when you show up on site and you go and pick up your badge, you'll also get a conference experience guide. This has taken the place of something in the past typically called an on-site program when you go to a conference. It's a book of just information and ads and overview of the schedule and floor plans. We wanted to take that to the next level and help educate our attendees before they get there, but also on site, and give more of a comprehensive overview of how to get the most out of your experience. So you'll open it up and you'll see on the first page, here's an overview of the type of education that we have, and here's how you can navigate that. This is the purely educational content. This is the intent of the education in our exhibit hall. These are some of the sponsored sessions that are going to be taking place, so that as you're looking through the app and you're hearing about these different kinds of education that we offer, you'll have this guide that'll say, oh, okay, so this is that type of education. That's what I want to go to. And that'll help you shape your agenda. Similarly, for the exhibit hall, it also has the categories in there kind of printed out. So it could be your one-stop shop for looking for, going back to that property management software example, all the companies will be listed in there. There's ideas around what types of questions you should be asking. So when you're going up and initiating conversations with one of our 120 plus exhibitors, you're asking the right questions and you're in the right place with the right people. So we're really focused on this experience, and I highly encourage you to pick up that guide to help you out. It's a great companion piece for the app. Similarly, a great companion piece for the app is our social media. Hopefully you're all following us on one of the major social media channels. If not, please do. And when you're there and you're posting, hashtag VRMA International for us, so we can keep tabs of everything going on, and repurpose and retweet and repost lots of the great posts from our attendees there, and some of which will populate in the app. So please follow us on social. Okay, important hours of operation. Registration opens Sunday, 11 a.m. for those early birds who are coming for the boot camps that afternoon. And we're open through right after the welcome reception that evening around 7:30 p.m. So, and then all day Monday, Tuesday, and up until the closing keynote on Wednesday. That's where you're going to find our staff in their polos, very helpful and willing to guide you and answer any questions you may have. Now, the exhibit hall is open during these hours that you see on here. It's open throughout the conference. There are dedicated hours where there's nothing competing with the exhibit hall, where we want all of our attendees to go in and meet with these great product and service providers and attend education sessions at the VRMA hub in the exhibit hall. But it's open throughout. So if you're setting up meetings or want to go walk around when it's a little less crowded and there's not a session going on that you're interested in, you can go in the exhibit hall anytime during these hours. But it's not open on Wednesday, as you can see on there. All right, so back to the conference experience guide. I'm going to let Erica talk a little bit about what types of education we have there and how you should navigate that.
Thanks, Mike. So I've talked a little bit about this already, but we have a ton of great education lined up in varying formats throughout the conference. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences and the nuances between the different types of education that we offer. So first, for those who are getting to New Orleans on Sunday morning, we have our boot camp workshops. So these are couple of pre-conference events. They have advanced registration is required. There is a nominal additional fee associated with them, but they're really great deep dives into a couple of topics. So they run from 1 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. And then the majority of the education that you'll see at the event is in those concurrent education sessions. So focusing on close to, I think, 10 different tracks we have lined up for the event this year on business strategy, marketing, technology. We have a new track this year on data and revenue management, guest relations, owner relations. Anything that you could be looking for is in those concurrent sessions. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the sessions that we're planning during that time as well in a little bit. But these are all educational in nature. There's no sales pitch, no other agenda other than pure educational content during these sessions. A couple of highlighted tracks that are included during those concurrent educational sessions. We have an international track that focuses specifically on global issues and bringing more international travelers to your businesses. Last year, we rebranded our national conference as the International Conference with this focus on having more of a global reach and international expansion. So there'll be dedicated education in that track as well at the event this year. And then I spoke a little bit about this earlier, but the track focused on housekeeping, maintenance, and laundry that will be hosted by our friends at VRHP, and Dirk Johnson has put together some really great programming around that track of education. So there'll be 3 sessions during each concurrent block focused exclusively on that type of education. So there's a lot of great content there as well. And then a little bit different from our concurrent sessions are the sponsored education sessions we have. So those take place primarily in the form of our lunch and learn sessions and the sessions that happen at the VRMA hub in the exhibit hall. So the lunch and learn sessions are sponsored by some of our industry partners. So Airbnb, Booking.com, I think Verbo is doing one as well. They have all set up time during lunch to host a session dedicated to kind of the initiatives and goals and things that are going on within their organizations. Really great, really well attended last year during the conference. And then the Education Hub are these shorter kind of quick hit 20-minute sessions that are happening in the exhibit hall, again, with some of our key industry sponsors and supporters. So more information on each of those is included in the mobile app and on the website, but it is, education throughout the day, networking opportunities throughout the day, all focused in different areas throughout the conference. So also in this upcoming event, we have some new content that we're focusing on. It's a little bit different for this year. First is this fireside chat series with Simon Lehman. He will be hosting a series of 4 industry kind of interview conversation type sessions with leaders in the industry. Carl Shepard will be there. He'll be hosting one with Olivier Vermillion and Jeff Hurst again, like he did last year, but really allowing for an opportunity to get more of a unique kind of take from some of the industry leaders that you may not get from other types of sessions and standard presentations that you see at our events. So that's one thing we're adding. The next thing we're adding is the roundtable series of education. Many of you who may have attended our events before have attended probably the Property Managers Roundtable that has been hosted with various property managers throughout the industry to talk about some of the biggest issues and challenges facing the industry, and have found a lot of value in attending that event. So we're expanding that even further and offering 2 more roundtable sessions, one focused specifically on property management software and one focused on revenue management. So it'll be the same type of format as that property managers only roundtable, but focus on these specific topics, and we have moderators to help facilitate and guide conversation around these topics as well. But we know that a lot of folks have found a lot of value from interacting with each other and best practice sharing and learning from your peers. So we wanted to expand that series even further. And then lastly is the VRMA Path to Leadership session. As Mike mentioned earlier, this is a session we'll be hosting on Sunday afternoon, and it'll be hosted by the chairs of the Leadership Development Committee to talk about just that, how to become a leader within the organization and how to get more involved with VRMA. And how to give back to the organization. So that'll be happening on Sunday afternoon before the first timers reception. So that's all the new content we have lined up for this year. Okay, so these events are growing, and as mentioned, we're going to have 1,800 to 2,000 people there. We are committed, we being the VRMA Board of Directors and the entire association, of making this a great experience, but also a big part of that is making sure it's a safe experience for all of our guests and attendees. So something we launched last year in a more formalized capacity is our Code of Conduct and Harassment Policy. By registering for the event, you have agreed to adhere to this policy, so please familiarize yourself with it.
It's also available in the app. And just know that if you see or experience or hear of anything that is putting anyone's safety in jeopardy, to please alert someone on staff or at the volunteer level. We do have policies and procedures in place to address any issues that do arise, and we are prepared for this. So please just familiarize yourself with that and know that we are committed to ensuring a safe environment for all of our attendees, at not just this event, at all of our events, but wanted to just call your attention to this because there's so many first-timers who are going to be in attendance. All right, back to the education. So Erica already talked a little bit about Marriott, so I can just elaborate a little bit more. They made their official announcement about their homes and villas entrance into the North American market around back in May. They've been in beta in Europe for some time prior to that, but are entering the US market in a big way. And there's a lot of questions and speculation around what that means. So we went and met with them at their offices in Bethesda, and it seemed like a great idea for them to come and share that story, because it's all about partnership and working with professional property managers, specifically the type who are VRMA members and attendees of our conferences. So it's a great message about collaboration. It's cool to have such a prominent hotel here speaking and talking about lessons learned from their industry that they can bring over to ours, and how we can all work together moving forward and what this means for us. So I'm really looking forward to that one personally. Eric, I don't know if you have anything else to add to the Marriott presentation.
No, I think you covered it well. We're really excited to welcome to the VRMA conference, and they have a lot of great information to share. We just got off a prep call with them, so they're excited, and we're excited as well too.
Yeah, this isn't a fly in, fly out. Thanks, Marriott. Nice to meet you. They're really committed to this and this group and to VRMA, and will be a part of our events for years to come. So excited about this one. Okay, so that Monday afternoon is a really cool session that Amy Highnote, who is the editor and founder of VRM Intel, and we've been working with her and talking about the concept for this for quite some time. And it started off as kind of a joke, like maybe we should set it up, Family Feud style. And then we're like, you know what? Survey says it's actually a pretty cool name for this. So Amy has sent out, and we've shared a survey with members and attendees in the industry at large about some forward-looking trends and kind of predictions and expectations for what's to come for the industry. So she's going to be sharing those results while asking the same questions of a panel of experts, both from the supplier side for founders of some of the biggest companies in our space, to the property manager side for some of the executives at some of the most successful and respected companies in the space. So it's going to be interesting to see those. I don't think there'll be necessarily dueling perspectives, but those differing perspectives on the future of the industry and how it aligns with the general population of VRMA members and VRM Intel readers. So that's going to be a fun one. Anything to add there, Erica?
It's going to be really cool. And then we're following with the awards reception. So hopefully folks will stick around for that. We are going to be offering drinks during that. It's going to be a really nice way to close out the day on Monday.
Yeah, that's a great point. Let's do some pre-conference housekeeping real quick.
Let's do
it goes straight. This is going to go straight from the Survey Says session directly into the awards reception. Drinks will be passed to everyone at their seats, so you can stay seated. We're going to get on stage. We're going to give out some new awards from VRMA, as well as to pay homage to some of our outgoing board members. And it'll take maybe, I don't know, up to a half hour to do the awards session, and then it'll be time to mingle and network after that. But please stay seated between these sessions just for the sake of expediency, and we'll bring the drinks to you. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you for bringing that up, Erica. All right, VRMA Battlegrounds. Erica, you've been more in the weeds with this than I have, so why don't you provide some context here?
So again, backed by popular demand, we did this last year for the first time at the VRMA International Conference, but we are again partnering with our friends at Focusrite to put this session together, and it is sponsored by Beyond Pricing. So this session is kind of our VRMA Shark Tank, if you will. So 5 innovators from startup companies will be competing for the title of VRMA Innovator of the Year. So you will see 5 product pitches during this time. And our judges on our esteemed panel, which you can see here on the slide, our president, Jody Rafosco, and our president-elect, Toby Babich, will be there, as well as Ian McHenry with Beyond Pricing, and Travis Rinner with Marriott will be judging this event and providing feedback to our innovators. So they'll have a say, but you'll have a say as well as the audience, and you'll be able to vote on your favorite innovator to win the title through our VRMA mobile app. So it's going to be a really cool event, something you'll see a couple different sort of setups throughout our general sessions between this and Survey Says. It's just a different way to help bring useful and valuable information and education to you in a different kind of format. So looking forward to doing this one again this year.
And shout out to Ian McHenry, who's Beyond Pricing isn't only sponsoring this. Ian's actually gone through this at the Focusrite level. Focusrite does a battleground for kind of the broader travel space. And Beyond Pricing was one of the innovators of the year several years ago. So Ian's very passionate about this and about driving innovation in the space. And you probably saw the news within the past week or so that Beyond Pricing actually got another $42 million in funding as well. So he is innovating, and he's springboarded on that Focusrite Innovation Award. And we're hoping to see similar growth and results from some of the innovators on our stage. So thanks to Ian, and congratulations to Beyond Pricing.
And then in addition to all of our general sessions, as we talked about earlier, we've got a lot of great education going on during the event. One of the things we're most proud of at this conference is the opportunity to highlight and showcase our vacation rental managers and our members. We have over 50 property managers from all over the world speaking at this event. We're really excited about it. One of the things we hear the most from our attendees is that they really want to hear from their peers in the industry and people that are, fighting the same fight they are, experiencing the same challenges they are, and how they overcome those challenges and better grow and expand their businesses. So on the slide here, you can see there's a couple of great panels that we highlighted with a lot of property managers, including our friend Drew Brown, who's on this webinar as well. But lots of great thought leadership and insight that'll be shared during the meeting. And so we highly encourage everyone to attend all the sessions. But if you're looking for insights and innovations and thoughts from your peers, we have those sessions for you to go to. And so, we encourage everyone to take a look at the program and map out your conference experience and think about the sessions and the folks that you want to hear from. So, please do take a look at the education before you head into the meeting. It'll really help you plan out your event and get the most from your experience.
All right, back to networking. So I know Drew in a minute here is going to talk a little bit more about the new member reception on Sunday. That is immediately preceding the welcome reception, which is in the exhibit hall, open for all attendees Sunday night. So please make it a point to come there and meet with all of our great product and service providers in the exhibit hall and start the networking and kicking off the conference that night. Erica and I just talked about the awards reception taking place Monday after the Survey Says session. The numerical dates on here are wrong for Advocacy Fund reception and the conference party, but those are on Tuesday. That's October 15th. And the fund reception is taking place late in the afternoon from 5:30 to 7. Now that is an additional fee to come and attend, but all the proceeds from that are going towards the VRMA Advocacy Fund, whose purpose is to help build our efforts around government relations, regulatory battles, and advocacy for the association. So we're going to be using funding from the proceeds of this event for things like economic impact studies and looking at other studies we could be be launching our data and research initiatives around affordable housing or cost of compliance, hiring lobbyists. There's a whole bunch of things we can do with this money, but it's strictly dedicated and reserved for advocacy efforts. So please come and support that and give back to the industry and help us fight the good fight on the regulatory front. And that is immediately before the conference party that night, VRMA Your Way Party, which is the big party of the event and get together Tuesday night. It's going to be fun. It's sponsored by HD Supply. And I believe there's another slide here focused on the VRMA Your Way Party. I don't know the significance of the truck, but I like the image so much. It does look great. It just works. So the truck doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the party, but the VRMA Your Way Party, we called it that because primarily the entertainment that's going to be there is a band called You Request Live, where they play songs that you request. So there are going to be a couple tablets in the room, and you can vote on your phone through the app or through a link that we'll be sending out through a push notification through the app. And they have hundreds and hundreds of songs that you can choose from. You go vote, upvote them, and they'll play them for you. So it is a party kind of by our members and attendees, and ties into the whole experience thing, and it's your association, right? It's your event. We want to make it feel that way. And even I believe the food that evening is a build your own po' boy stand. So the options don't stop at the music. So endless. I actually love po' boys, so I'm looking forward to that. But that should be a cool party. It's a big deal every year, and it'll be a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that one. VRMA Your Way. All right, so now I will turn it over to Drew to talk about the new member and first-timer reception. Drew.
Great. Thanks so much, Mike. Really excited about the event. And this first-time attendee and new member reception is a great way to kick off the VRMA International Conference. If you're a new member to the organization, it's a great way to get introduced to some of the things that are going to be going on for the conference that we've been talking about. And also, if you're a first-time attendee and just haven't decided yet if you want to be a member of the organization, it's a great way to have some more one-on-one conversations with folks about the value of membership and what to look forward to. So one of the great parts about the reception is going to be as well, we're going to do a nice networking game, and it's going to be a great way to get around the space, see the exhibit hall, also get introduced for different folks from different regions. And it's just going to be a great way to start off the conference for everyone. So as we go into the first part of the conference with the first-time attendee and new member reception, we figured we would try and provide some networking tips. This is definitely something that we want to try and do. Obviously, if you're a first-time attendee and you haven't been before, the first item is good. Sit next to someone you don't know. That way you can strike up some conversation. There's always going to be similarities that you can find in your business and also in what you can provide to others. The best part about these conferences is finding new ways to possibly do business or new ways that you can improve what you're doing and improve a customer experience. Definitely want to explore the exhibit hall. It's going to be great to be able to try and meet new folks. That we always try to say, if you can meet 2 new people every time you go in, by the time you've gotten to the end of the conference, you're going to have met probably 20 or 30 people. It's just a great way to increase your sphere of influence and also get to learn more about our ever-growing industry. Definitely want to try and introduce yourself to new people. I know that'll be a little bit difficult for some folks, but you're going to have your name badges, and that's something we wanted to talk about as well. Later on there, we talk about the board and the committee members are going to have badges, so everyone on the membership committee will have, I believe it's a purple badge that says that the membership committee. So if you're ever in a situation and you need introduction or you need someone to help start a conversation, you can always go over to those folks. Definitely want to bring business cards. Bring as many as you can, especially to that first-time attendee, because it's, again, just a great way for you to get out there and see folks. And again, you're going to get into the exhibit hall and start to look at different, systems that could possibly help you do your business better. And you want to make sure that you have the ability to follow up with them and they have the ability to follow up with you, and definitely take advantage of those roundtable sessions. as Mike was mentioning before and Erica were mentioning before, some of those sessions, especially when it's just for property managers only, are great because it's very candid discussion about where we are as an industry and where we are as businesses, and being able to try and lead in the right direction as our space continues to change every day. And again, just that last point of, the board members will have, they'll have on their lanyards, they'll have a signifying ribbon, and then the membership committee folks will have a button on all week that'll allow you to come up, and if you have any questions, we're always happy to help. So this is a good list if you want to do any research prior to getting to the event or when you're on site. These are all the current members of the membership committee. As Mike had alluded to before, I am the membership chair, and everyone on this committee plays a very active role in trying to guide the ship for as we look for new membership, and as we look for developing more and more folks to join VRMA. So please take some time to look those folks up, or if you do see them on site, make sure that you go to say hello. And a good point to realize is not all of these members are just rental companies. There are several on here that are from some vendors, so you'll definitely see them in the exhibit hall space and take some time to discuss with them or ask questions. We're all here to be as helpful as we can to you during this conference. And then also, especially for new members, this would be for those that are brand new to the organizations, and it's such a great thing. All of these folks on the ambassador committee are really take the time out to really try and be a point for you as you're kind of sailing through this conference. You're going to get there, and it's going to be almost overwhelming with the size of 2,000 and seeing all of the exhibit space. So understand, everyone from the membership committee, but also from the ambassador committee, is really here for you. So if you have any needs, please feel free to find anyone on this list of the ambassador committee, especially for new members, or anyone on the membership committee, and we'll help, as well as all of our friends from the VRMA and their wonderful polos. I'm going to be interested to see what color that is, but we're excited to see. So anytime you need someone from the new member aspect, you can take a look at this list and share with them, and they'd be happy to help you out. So let's take a second really quickly and talk about membership. So here are some high-level points on what all is involved with membership with VRMA. So, again, it is the international guiding body for the vacation rental industry, and I think that there are some really good points on here that really should be highlighted. So one of those would be, obviously, we have year-round events. So not only do we have the international conference, but we do have several events with different times of the year that we can go to different regions of the United States and even internationally to show support for not only the industry, but be a gathering place for both the companies and for vendors to be able to showcase different types of new technology. The certificate program, we can't talk enough about. It's such a great option for you to look into. It's been something that the education committee really took a long time to kind of vet and go through and provide such a great groundwork. So if you want to be a certified property manager, by VRMA, there's a great certificate program. And while you're on site there, all of the folks from VRMA at the membership booth will be able to provide great information. One thing that we don't talk enough about in our industry as it continues to change is the advocacy efforts of VRMA. Greg Holcomb and both Mike and all of his staff spend so much time laboring on our behalf, making sure that we're always fighting the good fight and making sure to fight regulation or to provide educational points or just understanding of what's going on within the industry and in locations. As the vacation rental world continues to change, it's probably the largest aspect of our organization that doesn't get talked about enough, because they do such a tremendous job in trying to obviously inform and advocate on our behalf as vacation rental managers. And then you've got Arrival, which is our magazine, which gets put out. It's awesome. It's a really good way to see, the article so informative. Being able to obviously get that piece and stay right on top of what's changing in the industry. And then also having access to some of the different vendors that are providing information through their ads in the Arrival magazine is great as well. As well as then you've got your live and on-demand webinars, kind of like this one. We just want to try and provide all the accurate information that we can to you as quickly as possible and the best way for you to digest it, and because we know everyone is always so busy. So there's more and more of those that come out, and they're great tools that can be viewed on the website and come with our membership. As long as we're talking about that, then you've got the two other things in terms of our buyer's guide and our HD supply partnership. You definitely want to explore those and talk with both the VRMA staff or look up on the website. That's great information for us to be able to use on our benefit. Always want to try and take advantage of those partnerships with the buyer's guide and HD supply partnership, because we always have some great tools at our disposal from VRMA, and those are one of them that we again don't always see because we're always so busy doing business. So always want to try and take advantage of that. But all are great tools that come with your VRMA membership, and we'd be happy to talk about those with you from a membership committee level or with any of the staff that's on site in New Orleans. So as we were just talking about, definitely want to see you at the VRMA membership booth. You can meet all the wonderful staff, folks that are on this call and some of the other staff. They do such a great job, and they would be able to provide any information that you would need about membership. And I am a testament. Definitely want to try and join a VRMA committee. You definitely want to try and learn as much as you can. Getting involved has been probably one of the best things for me as a professional manager, because you get to see things on such a different perspective. For so much of our business, we're trying to learn more and more about just our location or our area or our destination. And being involved with VRMA shows us that not only the national, international, and global perspective is just so much of a level of importance as we continue to grow as an industry, because it's just been so beneficial, and the VRMA provides such great information about that. And again, as I alluded to earlier, you want to really try and provide yourself the opportunity to learn more about the VRMA certificate program. It's actually pretty trying. We as board members have the access to that, and it's not an easy, program in terms of the certificates that you can get and different tracks that you're allowed to get. And then you can also hear about our accreditation program as well. So we really look forward to hopefully seeing you there, and the VRMA staff can definitely teach and help you learn anything you would need to learn about membership opportunities through VRMA.
All right. Thank you, Drew. That was very thorough. Much appreciated. So big reveal for you. The polos will be navy blue. So keep your eyes out for VRMA staff and navy blue polos that say VRMA on them. We are there to help. Also there, probably wearing matching shirts to some extent, are some of the companies on this screen right now. These are our sponsors. We would not be able to do anything we're talking about here without the great sponsors for the association. All of these companies will be in the exhibit hall exhibiting. Please stop by and visit with them to learn more about the great products and services that they provide. And that's pretty much it for the webinar. If you have any questions before or after, again, reach out to us via email or on the phone. And when you get there, head to registration. One thing I should have pointed out at the top, so something new we're doing this year is there are going to actually be different colored badges, one for vacation rental manager attendees and one for our supplier attendees. So there will actually be kiosks when you get to the registration desk, and one line will be specifically for VRMs and one line will be specifically for suppliers to ensure that you get the correct color badge printed out when you sign in. So if you have any questions, we will have real people there as well to help out and help you get all set up. But we thought the color badges would help people be able to identify and network a little bit easier on site as well. So when you get there, head to Reg, get your badge, find a staff member wearing that navy polo, and we are there to make it a great experience for you. Thank you so much for registering. We're looking incredibly forward to seeing you October 13th in New Orleans. Thank you to the panelists today. Erica Klein, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming down the hall to the
Anytime.
studio. Drew, thank you for your participation as well.
You're most welcome. I appreciate it, Mike.
All right. We'll see you in a couple weeks, Drew. We'll see everyone who's listening in New Orleans. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon.